What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with another Lucky Dip. This one comes from Phil's collection. Big shout out to Philip. And the next track we're going to listen to is essentially a targeted Lucky Dip, by which I mean I recently reacted to a remix, a trance remix, from 1999 of a Sunscreem tune called Exodus. Now, I mentioned in that reaction I didn't really know anything about Sunscreem, other than I remember reading that they were a group of people, I think like 4 people. And a couple of folks commented, like Mark and Philip and others had said that they're a UK group and that a lot of their tracks, or at least, the tracks that people were mentioning, had some of the atmosphere. Because if you saw my reaction to that trance remix, I've said that, one of the things about that version of that tune, I love the 90s trance vibes, but in particular, I love that breakdown, which has this epic atmospheric quality. There's that ethereal female vocal, which also has this nice contrast to the low, rolling bass. It's just a really cool part. And I think Phil mentioned that, some of their tunes, that's kind of the atmosphere that you get. So I'm looking forward to that, and having heard that their tunes, not just remixes of their tunes, are definitely worth checking out, and knowing that there was a tune in the Lucky Dip folder by them, I figured we'd check it out. Now, the name of the track is Pressure. There's a 90s trance track I'm quite fond of by Signum called Pressure. But yeah, Pressure, it's, the build-up of force, and then, the context in which that may manifest would obviously influence whether pressure can be a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes pressure, can break a logjam. There's ways that you could think about pressure positively. But pressure, I think more often than not, is a sort of negative or at least stressful force, and one which must be dealt with or relieved at some point, because the more it builds up unresolved, the more problems it could cause, whether that's biologically or psycho-emotionally. So I would expect pressure to be on some level metaphoric or figurative, but ultimately not knowing their work outside of a couple remixes of one of their tracks where the meaning of Exodus in that trance version, it's not really clear. There's a couple lines, tantalized by surprise, and, they're sort of, suggestive of certain attitudes or sentiments, but I never really knew, what the essence of those lines were about. So this will be the first time I'm listening to one of their tracks or songs, in a proper sense. Enough talking, let's hear it. This is Sunscreem. The track is Pressure. And it's a Lucky Dip made available by major friend and champion of the channel, Philip. How thumpy the kick would be. It's got some oomph. The guitar. Oh, okay. Well, I like the hats. I'm moving my guess earlier in the 90s now. Fragmented cloud. If you say you can't stand something again, it's untenable. Something has to give.
The sound flow in my bedroom, and the rise no longer spare. Time will always fall apart in a house where they don't care. We fantasize your life, recognize
like her voice a lot.
Release me.
It is the kind of voice that
Release me.
would work really well with a lot of trance tunes I know
Release
from the 90s.
me. Release me. Release me. Found you in the spare room with your eyes no longer there. The lamp floated up to your heart like a dive score for air. We've electrolyzed your mind and analyzed your limbs. Escapist crap I've had all night, now feel is gonna win. I'm gonna win. Can't stand the way that you make me.
I like the repetition of the final line in the verses. Not the final line, like the final word or phrase. So yeah, like most of that was sort of that, early rave. I'm gonna guess 92. I know that's like a specific guess. Normally I'd say like, early 90s, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna throw that out there. At the very least, it feels like the kind of like early rave, breakbeat sort of vibe of a lot of the tracks that, I mentioned it before. As someone who started going to parties in 96. A lot of my favorite tunes are from like 96, 97, 98, and makes perfect sense in a like personal subjective journey sense. I came to enjoy a lot of tunes from before that period, but 93 does tend to be the cutoff for me in terms of tracks that like really fit the styles and the genres that I became a big fan of, and the stuff that came before that. Now there definitely are exceptions, and I've already started an early rave playlist, which I think has like 4, 5, maybe 6 reactions in it. So I do like some tunes from this era, but it's definitely, a style like from before my time, so to speak, when it comes to like rave parties and electronic dance music of the 90s. But this is a really top tune, and again, I think the lead singer, or at least, the singer that I believe it's the same voice as in Exodus, she really has a good voice for electronic music. I think it has that like ethereal or like, what's the right word? Like, exotic, it feels like too strong of a word, but it sounds like, a voice like, is this from a person who's even human? Is that, like a celestial voice? It has this, again, I don't know if gravitas is the right word, but it has this special quality that, it sounds like some of the, like, best vocal trance that I can think of from the 90s. So, yeah, like I said, interested to know more about them. Obviously, most of this track, and that's actually what I was going to try to get back to saying, most of the track was like that early rave vibe, but the very end and like 1 or 2 moments along the way, it did have that feel of the breakdown in Exodus, the trance remix of it by Fire and Ice. So yeah, I'd be curious to hear more. Ultimately, I was keen to do this after I did that other reaction, and multiple people commented that, Sunscreem, are themselves worthy of listening to. So shout out to Philip, shout out to the Patience for all the people with the different deep dives and the Lucky Dips. There's like 4 or 5 people now who have been sharing material for, like one-offs. And indeed, if I count like the one-offs also, then it's, the Lucky Dips have been bigger than that. So either way, I will try to keep getting through everything, but I appreciate the patience. Do let me know what you think of this track. I will see you next time. Peace.